And 3, 2, 1. And we are back, everyone, with another SDL podcast. This is season 3, the drama season recap for week 3, going into week 4 here with my co-host here, Nahoda, Eni behind the scenes, pulling the strings. As always, we welcome you guys in. How you doing this week, Matt?
Fantastic, man. Baby Blue Banter dub. We'll get into that a little bit later. I'm just pumped to be here and talk about week 4.
Right,
Gentlemen,
yeah.
gentlemen.
Oh,
Yes,
Hey, how far into the pod are you?
just starting.
literally the intro.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something real quick. A lot's going on. Drama season, as you know. Big development. Nogues out. IR Island gone. Hose B off yellow to green. Lebo is coming back to yellow. I got to go. Do your thing. Good luck.
Whoa! Whoa! Breaking news, everyone.
You heard it here
Absolute
first.
breaking news. Whoa, the drama season. Matt,
This,
instant reaction. What do you think?
I have no idea. So no, we knew Nogues was hurt.
Right, his wrist.
We didn't know what was happening there. We knew we needed a player. I was expecting it to be a sub pool. We had Tejeda, we had Sarge a couple times.
Right.
Lebo clearly has got some FOMO. He must have been clearly, and then Green needed a big, so they got Hose B from yellow. That's so interesting. Okay.
So wait, recapping. So wait,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Lebo is coming out of retirement. Tax
Yes.
season's almost over, I
Tax
guess.
season's over.
He's coming back to yellow. Jose's
He's
off yellow, going
Hose B. Let's be
sorry.
specific.
Hose
Yeah.
B. Sorry, yeah, let's be a little specific here. Hose B going to green from yellow. But wait,
Joey, they play each other. They play each other this week.
that's what I'm saying. Green and yellow face immediate revenge game for Hose B versus yellow here. We got to get some insight on there. Oh my goodness, that is insane.
All
So
right,
looking at
let's start with that game. Hold on, let's start with
we
that
have
game.
to. That's game 4 this week, week 4. That's going to be game of the week now, folks. That moves right to the top of the leaderboard.
Hold on. I'm in a group text with Edie and Reich. Hang on a minute.
Let's get the line.
All right. So for everyone at home, the line was before we get the lines before the podcast. The line was yellow minus 11.5. We just got a text that says, "Hey, heard about the player movement. Here's the updated line. It's now yellow minus 6.5 versus green. So Hose B goes from yellow to green, and so green gets a player. So green was going to be without a sub, so that's part of the line movement, right? Green with the so green was going to get a sub. So green getting anybody makes that line from 11.5 probably a little bit smaller. Lebo going to yellow from Hose B probably hurts yellow or helps, depending on how you look at game situations. So that lowers the line a little bit. And now it's yellow minus 6.5 versus green. So Joey, why don't we do this? Let's react to that game. Let's react to this news. Let's lay this out. Then let's go back. You do a quick recap of the games. We'll do our player of the week, our Lou Award, and then we'll go back and do the rest of the lines and the forward thing. All right. So this is insane. Okay.
Yeah.
So yellow minus 6.5 versus green. Green without Nogues. Green with Hose B. I like the line. 6.5 seems pretty good. Lebo hasn't shot a basketball in 4 months. Fink's never played with them. They've got their core couple, but Medeiros missed a game. Like yellow hasn't really played with each other. If Fink and Ian keep playing the way they are, they deserve to be favored against basically anybody at this point. Except for White, apparently, Jay would argue. And then green, new look green. Okay, question. I know I'm throwing I'm spacing here, so I apologize for not stringing together English sentences. But if you had to revote now, would you still put green 10 in the AP poll?
Ooh, it's tough, because you don't know what you're going to get now because you got another green team that, they missed a few games with everyone, so you didn't know what you were going to get. You got one game of their whole team. Nogues went down in maybe second or third quarter, whatever that was. So, they got 2.5 quarters of their full original team, so we really don't know. Hose B has only played one SDL game, too. He made his debut with yellow last week. And now he's on green. That's what I'm saying. So I don't really know what to expect now. Like, this is a complete curveball for the league. Drama season in bright red letters now. So I'm not sure.
I think in good conscience, without seeing them play, you still have to vote them 10. And this is not a knock on Nogues. They are better. They are better. I think as a whole, Hoseby not necessarily a big in terms of traditional,
Size.
post play. He says he can play in the post. He
Yep.
is a strong guy, clearly.
My
Man,
my
that's
question is, we know the
interesting.
deal. Who's going to guard Fink this week, though? You take Nogues out of the equation. Obviously, he was their tallest player. Now you got Fink, who can touch the rim while standing, and he's throwing up hook shots from the free throw line. That's going to be a tough matchup for Green once again this
It,
week.
it's still Furman and Hoseby,
Hmm.
and which wow, that's going to be fun.
Yep.
And I mean, this got a double. Everybody in this league has to double. I needed a double. Jay clearly needed a double. Granted they won, but the guy still put up 35 points on Jay. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't matter who's covering him. He still needs a double. But
I'm excited to see the back and
holy,
forth on the court. Is there going to be trash talk between Jose and them? Is
I
there going to be
hope
back and
so.
forth?
Well, when
We
you
got to.
saw Ian's reaction smacking the wall after a miscommunication with Hose B,
I
so
did. Yep. Yep. So I didn't. Yep. First game they played last week. Maybe there's some behind the scenes stuff we didn't know I was going about in yellow. Oh my goodness, the urine yellow
hashtag drama season.
drama
I will say
season.
just for everybody, it is 11 a.m. on Friday. So
Yep.
we are hearing this news about an hour before you guys are.
The banner chat's gonna be going crazy in about an hour. So
Yeah,
just for you
this is
guys to know,
insane.
it's gonna be in fun. But just like Matt said, we're gonna roll right back in. Let's go
Yeah, do
through
your thing.
week 3 very quickly. We had 4 games this week. 2 teams are on the bye. Green and Red, they got the week off, put their feet up, rest a little bit. But game 1 of the week, the Baby Blue Banter was going up against the number 1 team, the Gray Beard Ghosts, and the Baby Blue Banter pulled it out. Last second game-winning shot by Lewis, 60-57, moves the Baby Blue Banter to 1-2. Graybeard Goats fall to 2-1. Baby was 7.5-point favorites in that, so we covered the spread. Hunter led the way for us with 28 pie. Player of the week mentioned 18-19. Lewis with 21-11. On the gray side, we had Dennis with 23-11. Silver with 14-9. Camper had 20 bounds. Hardly fought contested battle. Came down to a 1-possession game. We were able to pull it out. Dennis had a chance to win it. Halfway down shot, bounced up, hit the backboard, thought it was falling in, thought it was another loss. Rimmed out. We were able to pull it out. Tough game. Gray is going to be at the top of the leaderboard for the rest of the season. I'm not worried about them. We are hopefully pointed in the right direction now and continue our win streak. We have a bye this week. Talk about that later. Going into game 2 of last week, Purple Patio Pounders go up against the Blacktop Legends here. I thought this would be a good game. Black missing Bregman, second leading scorer. It's tough out there without a sub, without one of your high scorer guys. Purple pulled it out 75-56. They moved to 3-0 on the season. Black actually out-rebounded Purple this one 58-53. Purple won the assist battle 11-8. 28% from the field from Black. They just
Wait,
couldn't.
11 assists? That's it?
Yeah, 11-8.
Wow.
Very low assist games this week in the SDL. 28% from the field, like I was saying, from Black. They couldn't really get their offense smooth going. They couldn't really get over the hump there. But for Purple, what a game for Armando. He missed the game last week. Player of the week mentioned. He had 28, 11, and 3. Vasquez with a solid 28 and 10. For Black, you had Jose leading the way, 31 and 8. Lon with 15 and 21. Goodman, though, unfortunately, my brother, you are a Luke candidate this week. You had 6 and 18, but you were 2 for 22 from the field. That's 9%, 22 misses. That's a Lou nominee. Moving on. Game 3 of last week, we had Yellow versus Maroon. Yellow was in front most of the way, and then Elam hit, and Maroon
What
went
an
on a
ending.
scorcher. Okay, I like Maroon's roster here. It took them a little while to get going. Last second game winning buzzer beater again. Ian hit a huge 3, 82-79. Yellow pulled it out. Yellow won the rebounding battle by a massive margin, 71-45. Most of those coming from Fink. Set a new rebound record this week, 22, 41, and 4. Player of the week mentioned. Then you go ahead.
Wait a minute. The whole Maroon team had 45 rebounds, and Fink by himself had 41.
Mm-hmm. I seen some crazy stuff this week. I don't know. There was a couple clips going around. I seen Fink shoot a 3, miss it, get his own rebound, and put it
On the
back
other
in.
side of the hoop.
I think he touched the ground once, maybe one step, just Jolly Green Giant style.
And
Anyways,
did you see Sissio's face after that, by the way? I sent
it's
that to him privately. After that
yep,
happens, he just goes,
yep, unreal. Basketball, a tall man's game, man. It must be
we
nice.
by the way, we clipped that and posted that to social, and I think I
Uh-huh.
saw it in the rotation. If you haven't seen it yet, go find that video of Sissio.
This deal.
It's just hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical because it is the most candid, very real reaction. The clip should be about Fink, and it's not. It's about Sissio.
100%. Just everyone's reaction. Side note, yeah, if you guys don't follow our socials, Suburban Dad League, Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. But yeah, Ian also played a very strong Robin that game, 32-10. If that's a Robin, that could be Batman performance as well. Sean had a solid 20-4. Then from the Maroon side, Coffer with 20-8, Pepper with a triple double, 16, 11, and 10. But they just couldn't pull it out at the end there. James Ford took a hard elbow to the face. Hopefully you heal up soon, Ford. Get that all taken care of and
He said
healed
he's
up.
good.
He's good? Okay,
He
yep,
said
that
he
was a
avoided a
strong one.
major an injury. He got very lucky, but he is in good shape. So shout out Ford. Thanks
That's
for letting
right.
us know.
Don't want to see any injuries in the SDL. Remember, folks, this is just fun. A little bit more competitive pickup basketball that we like to have out here. And in the final game of the night, another exciting game-winning shot game here. We had the blue-collar ballers prevailing over the white sneaker warriors, 67-66. Jason Rosenberg, game-winning three shot there with the comeback. Once again, reminding me of the games in the night. Anytime the game hit an Elam, it started to get real tight in the gym. We moved Elam from 7 to 9 this season. Give it a little more breathing room. Let teams catch up a little bit, see what's going on in the game. But Rosenberg, Player of the Week nominee, he had 20, 10, and 4. Game-winning shot. The Wall with a massive game, 20 and 15. On the other side of the ball, you had Big J with 30 and 16. O'Hearn with 16 and 11. But they take the loss. We had one more Lou nominee in this game. Bobby Buckets 0 for 8. That's 0%, 8 misses. But they got the W, so that moves Bobby out of contention here. And with that, we move into our awards this week. I will do Player of the Week. I'll throw the Lou over to Nahoda if you want.
Sounds
Player of the
good.
Week, we had 4 nominees. My co-host here, or 5 nominees, excuse me. Rosenberg, like I just mentioned, 20 and 10. My co-host, Nahoda, 18 and 19. Armando with 28 and 11. Ian with 32 and 10. But this week, I got to give it to, even though he didn't have the most points, I got to give it to Finkenstein, man. 22, 41, and 4. 41 rebounds is absolutely insane. As a guard who likes to get a lot of rebounds, that'll take me a half a season to get that many. 41 is absolutely nuts. Shout out to Fink. Moving up, obviously, Rookie of the Year, Player of the Week, MVP rankings. Yellow looking good. New look roster this week versus Hose B. Tune in for that. Now we got Matt for the Lou. Who do you got?
Joey, we called this one in the booth as it was happening.
Mm.
It's got to be A-bomb, 20 plus misses. What was his shooting percentage ended up being? 2
Looking at it
of
now, 9%.
22,
9%. It was 2 for
9%.
22. Yep.
Yeah, that's tough. He knew it in the gym. He
Yep.
wore it and owned it on the way out. So yeah, nothing really exciting about that one. It's funny. I was recapping the games and I was kind of looking through. I always look at Pi, right? Pi is just it's a usage stat. It's not a skill stat so much. And was happy to say in our win, I had a really high Pi number this week. 20 is a monster number for me. I don't put up numbers like that. And I was like, oh wow, I had more Pi than Fink. And then I look at Fink's numbers and I'm like, how in the world? And then you see Ian with 32. Between the two of them, that's a 50-50 game with two guys.
And watching in person too, Sean is a perfect, like the trifecta out there. Those 3 guys out there are absolutely pummeling teams for Yellow.
Yellow is new Yellow. I don't know.
New
Arif
Yellow.
and Lebo
Yes.
now. Arif and Lebo now. Golly, I don't even know. But Yellow's still a problem as long as Fink's in the league. Yeah, Fink's going to be a problem. So let's move on to next week here, and let me bring up the lines. Joey,
Week 4, folks.
Game 1.
Yep.
White versus Gray. White's 1 and 2.
Yep.
We're in all of those games. Their only win against Yellow, which is a very good win.
Right.
Gray 2 and 1. I don't know if they were blowing teams out, but they were winning comfortably.
Right.
And then lost to us last week. We match up really well against Gray. We still haven't put together a good game, but we'll talk about us. Well, actually, we won't talk about us.
We
We're on
won't.
bye
Yeah.
this week.
That's
Yeah, so we haven't really put together a great game yet. Lewis is
Great.
playing really well and shooting really well, but we beat Gray in a very tightly contested game. White's favored here,
Yeah.
minus 2.5. And so what this tells me is that Hard Right thinks that Gray's kryptonite is a good big man. So they got Big J coming into town next, and I think that's why that line is what it is. Now again, 2.5 points is very tight. I mean, that's as near as makes no difference an even line.
Right.
But Dennis doesn't lose too many back-to-back games.
Right.
So I'm sitting here going, you know what, I might take the points. Even though I don't like betting against Big J, especially when he has a matchup that he likes.
Right.
But I think I like the points, and I like Dennis. Dennis is gonna be pissed.
I agree. I think if I was picking a line here, I would have even maybe had a 1.5 point line for Gray. Personally, I think they should be favored in this. White, has been in every single game, though. Every single loss, like you said, it's a game-winning basket type of deal.
That's true.
Last week, I was surprised that White was dog. I thought they'd be favorite. Obviously, they covered the spread. They should have won the game, in my opinion. They just kind of choked in Elan there. They were up by a lot there. Safe to say they choked that one away. Blue snatched the victory from defeat there. But I like Gray's roster. Like you said, it took a lot out of us this week to beat Gray. They have a great roster. Dennis is always Dennis. The Dennis O'Hearn matchup is insane, and I love it. That's a great SDL back and forth. Big J and the camper. You got Silver running around. I mean, like I said, when it comes to 1.5, 2.5 point spreads here, it's a pick'em game in this league. So that's going to be a slobber knocker and a great game to open up week 4. I'll roll right the moment to do game 2 here. We got the blue collar ballers going up against the red eye rebounders coming off of a bye. Red has Sissio absolutely balling this season. MVP
leading the
style.
league in points per game.
That's what I'm saying. Absolute MVP style stuff. Hitting a 3-point at a huge clip here. But Blue coming off a huge win. 2 games now with Rosenberg. He missed week 1 on his cruises. Perry had 40 in their first win. Rosenberg took over the reins in the second win. They can beat you from an array. Obviously, Perry gets buckets. Rosenberg gets buckets. Scotty Snyder can stroke the 3 ball out there. And then you got the Wall, who played an MVP type game last week with 20 and 15. I don't know what to expect for this one, obviously. It's a 4.5 point spread. We have Blue on top over red. I think this one, once again, should be more closer to a pick'em as well. The league has great parity this season, I believe. Any team can beat anyone on any given night, besides Green, who we don't know what to expect yet. But red coming out, Esco can have an Esco game, which he hasn't had in season 3 here yet. Sissio, if he keeps playing well, Berman's been playing well. Rosenthal's having a slow start, but if he gets going a little bit more, he plays great defense, but his offense has been, lacking a little bit. If they can have a good game from them, I see them pulling it out. But if Perry and Rosenberg have a great game, I could see them pulling it out too. What do you think?
I was coming into this thinking, yeah, I agree with you. It should be Blue favored, and maybe it's by a higher point. But what do we know about Blue? Every time they do a celebration hug, every time they have a midseason parade, they fall flat on their face the next week, typically. Red's coming off a bye, so they're going to be as healthy as they're going to be all season long outside of week 1. Esco hasn't played a good game yet. Esco hasn't scored 20 points in an SDL game in season 3 yet. Sissio's averaging 31 a game. Love the guy. That's not going to continue all season long. At some point, he's going to go back to himself, which is still a hell of a player, but not a 31 point per game player. I see Red coming back with a vengeance. I see Mikey Rosenthal having himself a game, that we're used to. 18 points, of bunch of layups, on cuts and everything. So yeah, I think I'm taking Red in the points here again. I'm gonna take the dog. So yeah,
that's gonna be a fun. Once again, great matchup for week 4 here. That should be come down to Elan back and forth. Can't wait.
So game 3, and I think this is one of the more interesting games. You would never look at it and go, "Oh, this is game of the week." I think your eyes before that news would have immediately said, "Well, White Gray's got to be game of the week, right?"
Right.
And then obviously now game of the week, no brainer, yellow green. This is really interesting game. So you have maroon versus black. Black has not looked themselves. A shell of them former selves. The Don's t-shirt sales have fallen off. We're not seeing those posts anymore. Maroon, despite losing last week to yellow, probably has all the confidence in the world right now after that Elam comeback. Bregman coming off a hole digging type vacation. Who knows what shape he's going to be in.
Yep. Or the bucket.
Although I heard it did not sustain any league ending injuries, thankfully.
No, it's true.
Black's favored by 1.5.
Yep.
Which is interesting. I hate to just keep banging these dogs, but I'm well, shit, cut that please. But I think I got to take maroon in the points. Only because Jose's usage stats have been insane. He's got to be averaging 30 points a game to keep Black in these games.
Yes.
And maroon has a couple defenders they can throw. It'd be interesting to see Coffer covering Jose. I think Pepper's going to be on Lon, and when they do that pick and roll, I think Pepper is at least long enough to give some fits to Jose. It's a really tight line, 1.5, but I'm probably taking maroon in the points there. I think again, not to hate on the black team, but they just don't look like themselves.
It's tough, man. Black lost 2 straight. Maroon, I remember we played them final preseason game. Their roster is great. They have good players at every position. Javon at the guard position. Dansby can stroke the 3. Coffers everywhere. Peppers everywhere. You got Ford knocking down huge shots. And Black after season 1, you're replacing Armando with Assassin, who's a scoring type player, right? And then this season,
Overrated, underrated, you never
never
know.
know. Well, 1 tone, 2 tone, who knows? Anyways, but then you replace Assassin this season with a Jerry, who's not a scoring type player. He's more of an effort, offensive rebound, set other guys up. So now you notice Jose, you mentioned it. He is taking more of a scoring burden this season for Black, and it's tough because to get going, obviously it's the Lon and Jose pick and roll staple of the SDL, but they don't have that. Bregman's been getting buckets too, but you need like that fourth guy to get a sustainable 15 a night. And right now they're struggling in the offensive. Their defense is still there. Goodman, obviously, great defender, offensive rebounder, Lon on the defensive end. But right now their offense is looking a little different than season 1 and season 2 without having that extra guy out there. So, like you said, I like Maroon in this game, unfortunately. Let's see how Bregman's legs are coming back from vacation. Is he going to be, have a cruise belly like some guys, or is he going to be ready to go and flexing on us? Who knows? But I'm excited for this one. Like you said, this could have been game of the week, too. We have like 3 or 4 potential games of the week this week now, especially with game 4, like we mentioned earlier, yellow. 6.5 now over the Green Long Gladiators. That's our game 4, last game of the week. We already spoke on it, but I'll just touch on it real quick again. Hose B going up against his old team. I wonder what the drama will be. Will we get some spirit checks? Will we get some, spirit
I hope
stools?
so.
You love it. You don't want to see anything cross the line, but you still love to see the fun, the banter, guys going back and forth. So,
I mean, if we know anything, Osby is top 5 most confident guy in the league. Has only got to play 1 week. Gets traded. He didn't even tell us why. I mean, so who knows what the purpose of this trade is? Obviously, it must have been initiated by Nogues going to the IR. That's been the precedent in the league. Is somebody goes to the IR, it opens things up for trades.
Right.
Yeah, really interesting to see what yellow looks like. Lebo is probably going to be in tax season shape, not basketball season shape.
Right. It's been a while.
Arif has his medical exemption with his stamina. So it's going to be a constant rotation, is my guess, on the yellow squad. Medeiros is with his ankle, which I think held up pretty well. I don't think he had any
He played good last week.
issues.
Yep.
Yeah, he played well, but I don't think I saw him limping at all. So, he's probably going to have to play a ton of this game.
See, we joked with Lebo, but honestly, I think it benefits him a lot because obviously with Sean, Ian, and Fink 100% down low, he's a spot-up shooter. Lebo likes, catch and shoot, bang. He's going to see a lot of those. With Fink, he's going to see a lot of those, hopefully. So it's exciting stuff going on in the SDL drama season.
So let me ask you something. So does yellow then come down to every single week? If Lebo shoots 40 or 35%, they win. And if Lebo shoots 15%, they lose. I mean, could Pizza Boy be the linchpin in, the statue that is Fink? The Achilles heel of Fink is
the complete
piece of pizza.
The pizza factor of the SDL, you know what I mean? Because, guys are going to start, we dealt with Fink a little bit, but you're going to see it start coming more, obviously, in the league. Guys are going to try to slow him down. So that's going to probably leave all open because you can't leave an Ian or a Sean who are shooting at a high clip right now. So it's absolutely fun. Lebo is now the X factor.
And then you've got the personality of Hose B mixed with, and I'm not going to call Saka and Baumer personalities, but they play with an attitude.
Right.
Rightfully so. They're very good players. They play with an attitude. Layer in the Hose B personality.
Don't forget Furman.
I was going to say, and then Furman screaming at himself, punching himself in the face.
Yeah.
Man, Green, it might be the biggest enigma on a go-forward basis. I thought it was us. I thought his Baby Boo banter would be just this mystery, the entire this entire thing. Green's now that mystery. This is going to be wild stuff. To do this, what are we for? This is Friday, 4 days before they play.
Yeah. Exciting.
Man, I am so excited.
We heard rumblings about the trade last night, and the chat just exploded. You know what I mean? It's exciting stuff in the SDL, guys. Absolutely. Bombshells going off in the chat left and right. The drama season moves are absolutely exciting. We love this stuff around here. We hope you guys love this stuff. We're going to wrap it up now. For my co-host, Matt, make sure to tune in this week, Tuesday, 6 o'clock. We are live, TikTok and YouTube for E Behind the Scenes. This was the preview for week 4, trades, drama season, breaking news. We will catch you guys this week.